He want to fight in White House, and I also. For MMA community, it's gonna be a big fight. If UFC won this fight, and we can do this. Which fight is gonna be bigger than this? If I have to cut 155, man, it's gonna be hard, and then I might have to pay for this.
In a stunning twist that's got the MMA world buzzing, UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev has officially called out featherweight king Ilia Topuria, and he wants the showdown to happen at what he calls the UFC White House. The Dagestani powerhouse made the bold challenge during a recent media appearance, saying he's ready to move up, or bring Topuria up, for one of the biggest super fights in UFC history. Makhachev, fresh off another dominant title defense, isn't shy about seeking greatness. If he wants to be the best, he has to fight me, Makhachev said confidently. Ilia talks like a champion, but real champions prove themselves against the toughest. Let's do it at the UFC White House, the biggest stage for the biggest fight. His statement immediately sent shockwaves through the fight community, as fans began speculating what UFC White House could mean. Perhaps a monumental UFC event hosted in Washington, D.C., symbolizing the sport's growing global recognition. On the other side, Ilia Topuria, the undefeated featherweight champion known for his explosive striking and confident demeanor, has yet to officially respond. But you can bet he's heard the message loud and clear. Topuria, who's been eyeing a move up to lightweight, has often claimed he could smash anyone in the division. A matchup with Makhachev would not only test that claim, but could potentially crown the UFC's first dual champion from Europe and the Caucasus region. Fans and analysts are already calling this potential clash the fight of the decade. The grappling genius of Makhachev versus the knockout artistry of Topuria. UFC President Dana White has yet to comment, but knowing his love for blockbuster fights, don't be surprised if talks start heating up soon. If Makhachev versus Topuria actually happens, and at a venue dubbed the UFC White House, it could mark a new era for the sport, where champions chase legacy, not just belts.
У нас 100% будет какой-то разговор. Он постоянно говорит про меня, что-то хочет, наверное, донести. Я не понимаю, что он хочет донести. Выйдем, поговорим. Драться хочет. Подеремся, если можно будет. Если взять в плане вообще боев моих, мне Топурия никак не интересен. Он будет драться, представляет другой вес, я его побью. Что мне тогда сказать? Я не выигрываю пояс. Все будут говорить, я опять пойду кого-то там легковеса. И все. Но если люди хотят увидеть, как он проиграет, то можно это организовать.
Before Islam Makhachev issued his own challenge, there was a time when Ilia Topuria was the one doing the calling out, and the lightweight champion's response back then was just as sharp and composed as you'd expect from the Dagestani superstar. It all started months ago, shortly after Ilia Topuria's explosive knockout win to claim the featherweight title. Riding high on momentum, Topuria began teasing a move up to lightweight, naming Islam Makhachev as one of his dream opponents. "I'm coming for you soon," Topuria said in an interview, his confidence radiating as he hinted that Makhachev's reign at 155 pounds wouldn't last forever. Makhachev, never one to get drawn into trash talk, didn't stay silent for long. When reporters brought up Topuria's comments during a UFC media scrum, Islam smiled calmly before delivering a simple but chilling response. "He talks too much. Let him defend his belt first. When he's ready, I'll be here. But he should be careful what he wishes for." That moment set the tone for what's now becoming one of the UFC's most intriguing potential super fights. Makhachev made it clear that he respected Topuria's talent, but questioned his readiness to deal with a champion who dominates in every area of the fight game. "Ilia is good, fast hands, strong punch, but lightweight is different," Makhachev explained. "He's never fought someone like me. When he steps into my world, it's going to be a long night for him." Fans immediately jumped on social media to hype the possibility, sparking debates over whether Topuria's striking could handle Makhachev's relentless grappling and pressure. The clip of Islam's response went viral, showcasing his trademark calm confidence and the aura that comes with being one of the most dominant champions in UFC history. Now, with both men exchanging callouts months apart, the tension is higher than ever. What began as a playful callout from Topuria has evolved into a legitimate storyline, one that could soon lead to a historic cross-division clash.
He's the world champion in the lightweight division. I want to move up the lightweight division. I want to face him in the future.
A lot of people ask me to fight Ilia. What do you think? You know, that makes sense. Money, I have money. I don't need money. But I'm not saying no. If I clean my division, if people want, if Dana want, why not? One day,
Yeah.
I can do that.
The mention of the White House card instantly sent shockwaves through social media and the fight community. Fans went wild at the thought of the UFC hosting an event connected to the White House, with rumors even swirling that Donald Trump might make an appearance. Within minutes, the phrase UFC White House was trending worldwide, with fans and analysts debating what it could mean and whether such an event could actually happen. Fans wasted no time flooding Twitter and Instagram with their reactions. One user wrote, "Imagine Trump sitting cage-side watching Makhachev versus Topuria. That would break the internet." Another fan added, "Dagestan versus Spain at the White House? This is next-level promotion." Memes and highlight edits of both champions quickly took over TikTok, hyping up a potential clash between two of the UFC's most dominant forces. MMA analysts also joined the conversation, offering their takes on the potential superfight. Daniel Cormier praised Makhachev for chasing legacy, saying, "Islam isn't just defending belts anymore, he's building a legend." Ariel Helwani called the idea a historic spectacle, noting that Makhachev versus Topuria at the White House would be the most ambitious UFC event ever. Meanwhile, Chael Sonnen described the call-out as the boldest move in Islam's career, suggesting it's a sign that Makhachev wants to prove himself as the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. As for Ilia Topuria, the Spanish-Georgian featherweight champion has yet to issue a response, but knowing his fiery personality, fans expect a reply soon. Topuria has never backed down from a challenge and has previously hinted at moving up to lightweight to chase a second title. If he accepts, the fight could become one of the most anticipated matchups in UFC history. Whether or not the UFC White House card becomes a reality, one thing is certain: Makhachev's call-out has ignited the imagination of the MMA world. A clash between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria would be more than just a fight. It would be a global event symbolizing two champions, two nations, and two fighting styles colliding on the grandest stage. UFC President Dana White has officially broken his silence on the explosive news that Islam Makhachev called out Ilia Topuria for the rumored White House card. And his reaction has only fueled the fire around this potential superfight. Known for his love of big moments and headline-making events, Dana didn't hold back when asked about the possibility of the lightweight and featherweight champions colliding on one of the most historic stages in combat sports history. "This is what I love about Islam. He's chasing greatness," Dana said during a post-fight media scrum. "He's not afraid to call out another champion. Ilia's a monster, undefeated, hits like a truck. That's a dangerous fight. But Islam wants it. And when you have two guys like that both at the top of their game, you've got to pay attention." Reporters immediately pressed White about the White House card idea that's taken over the internet. While he didn't confirm any official plans, his grin said it all. "Look, we're always thinking big," he teased. "I've done fights in Abu Dhabi, Madison Square Garden, and the Sphere in Vegas. But something like this? Yeah, that would be next level. The president loves the fights. You never know what could happen." Social media erupted as clips of Dana's reaction spread across platforms. Fans began speculating whether the UFC might actually pull off the most ambitious event in its history: a pay-per-view card connected to the White House, possibly with Donald Trump and other high-profile figures in attendance. MMA pundits called the moment Vintage Dana, hinting that if anyone could make such a spectacle a reality, it would be him. Dana White also praised Ilia Topuria, recognizing his rapid rise and massive fan appeal. "Ilia's got star power," he said. "The kid's undefeated, he's knocking everybody out, and he's got that confidence that reminds me of Conor McGregor. You put him in there with Islam. That's lightning in a bottle. That's global." When asked if the UFC was already in talks to make the fight happen, Dana stayed coy but didn't deny it. "I can't say anything yet," he said with a smirk. "But let's just say, You guys are gonna love what's coming next. With those words, the anticipation skyrocketed. The idea of Makhachev versus Topuria at the UFC White House card has officially gone from fantasy to possible reality. Two champions, two nations, one unforgettable event. And Dana White might just be the man to make it happen.
Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, if that title fight's going to get booked soon?
I'll let you know when we get it done.
And just kind of piggybacking off that, obviously with Ilia's win, everyone's really excited to potentially see a future fight with him and Islam. I know that's the fight that people wanted. Ilia said earlier this week that if Islam loses that fight, he wouldn't give the opportunity for Islam to fight for his belt again. Is that something you'd bypass? Because that seems like such a big fight to make.
I mean, this is all talk.
Speculative.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
But I imagine that's a fight you guys would want to make at some point. I mean, just the magnitude
Sure.
of it.
I mean, I'd make that fight tomorrow. Yeah. Or Tuesday, I guess we could say. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask you just about International Fight Week specifically. Obviously, it's the Super Bowl for the UFC. Can you just talk about, everything from the convention, Power Slap, how you felt like, I guess, did it live up to your vision of it in terms of all of the new things that the UFC has been doing for the fans and everything else all week?
Just days after Islam Makhachev's bold call-out for the rumored UFC White House card, featherweight champion Ilia Topuria has fired back with a fiery response that sent shockwaves through the MMA world. Never one to shy away from confidence or controversy, El Matador made it clear that he believes Islam Makhachev is avoiding him, claiming that the lightweight king talks about legacy but doesn't really want the smoke. In a recent interview with Spanish media, Topuria didn't hold back his emotions. Islam keeps saying he wants to fight champions, but when my name comes up, he hesitates, Topuria said. He knows my power. He knows one punch from me changes everything. Islam is afraid. He's afraid to lose that aura, that control he thinks he has. The statement immediately went viral across social platforms, with fans debating whether Topuria's comments were pure confidence or calculated mind games aimed at drawing Makhachev into a fight. Topuria, who's riding an undefeated record and coming off a stunning knockout victory to claim the featherweight title, has built his reputation on swagger and knockout power. And now, he's setting his sights squarely on one of the most dominant champions in UFC history.
Lo que hemos podido ver es primero que Makhachev no se abre del todo a pelear contigo, quizás porque tenga algún tipo de...
¿Tiene miedo? Claro que tiene miedo, por supuesto. Es como, siempre es una pelea fácil hasta que te ponen el nombre en el contrato, ¿no? Así que todos lo sabemos. Si fuera tan fácil y si fuera tan enano como él dice, ya compartiría el octógono conmigo, ¿no? Por algo no quiere. Yo lo entiendo, así que está bien. Súbete hacia arriba, no pasa nada.
Puede ser que Khabib le esté aconsejando no te metas con Ilia, que te puede ganar.
Seguramente Khabib parece ser un buen consejero. Yo quiero pelear en las 155 libras, no necesito realmente el nombre de Islam porque tampoco es que sea nada extraordinario. Si se quedara a pelear conmigo, obviamente es una pelea emocionante para todo el público y si no es así, ya construiremos nuestro futuro.
Dana White has officially unveiled the full lineup for the highly anticipated UFC White House card, and it's every bit as massive as fans hoped, maybe even more. The event, set to take place in Washington, D.C., is being hailed as the most ambitious and politically charged UFC card of all time, bringing together global superstars, champions, and rivalries that define an era. Headlining the historic night will be none other than Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria, a champion versus champion superfight for the ages. The lightweight king from Dagestan and the undefeated featherweight sensation from Spain will finally settle their war of words inside the Octagon. The matchup is being billed as legacy versus power, symbolizing a clash of fighting styles, cultures, and championship mentalities. Dana White described it perfectly. This isn't just a fight, it's history. Two champions, two continents, one cage, and the world watching from the White House lawn. Doesn't get bigger than that. But the main event isn't the only thing turning heads. The co-main event is a blockbuster in its own right. Colby Covington versus Khamzat Chimaev in a 5-round welterweight title eliminator. The return of Covington, paired with the undefeated fury of Chimaev, promises chaos, controversy, and fireworks both before and during the fight. It's pure madness, said one analyst. Colby talking politics at the White House while Khamzat promises violence. Only the UFC could pull this off.
Luke Thomas and I are going to take turns drafting matchups to fill out our White House Supercard. Once a matchup is taken, neither fighter can be used by the other person. All fighters chosen must currently be on the active UFC roster, but each of us are allowed to pick one fighter who is either non-active as retired or a free agent, but they can't be under contract with PFL or one. With the first pick, Team BC selects Tom Aspinall versus John Jones for the UFC Heavyweight Championship.
I can't use either of them, right?
Correct.
I'm going to go with what I want to see. And I'm going to use one of my bonus picks.
Go for it.
Give me Ronda Holly Holm 2.
With my second pick in your co-main event, give me Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz 3.
Wow. I'm going to go quality over name for my co-main event. Give me Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev.
That's the best fight you can make. With the third pick in my White House draft, Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes.
Your card, I think, is the more conventionally correct one. I'm going to go with a fight that some people have been talking about. Give me Merab Dvalishvili versus Alexandre Pantoja, 35 title.
I'm going to go with Khamzat Chimaev.
Oh, you fucking bitch.
Defending the middleweight championship against Fluffy Hernandez.
Oh! Give me Max Holloway defending the BMF title against Dan Hooker.
2 fights left. I'm going Jack Della Maddalena against Ian Machado Gary.
Wow. Give me Sean Brady versus Shavkat Rakhmonov.
I'm going to do Paddy Pimblett versus Arman Tsarukyan.
Give me Izzy Strickland 2, non-title.
Looks like I'm going to retire Izzy on the White House lawn.
I had a great day. About to take off here from Washington D.C. We had the meeting at the White House. Could not have gone better. This is going to be awesome. White House fight is on. The White House fight is on. I will have more details on that in the next couple weeks. But we got it done today.
We're going to be on the fucking south lawn of the White House. This is the Octagon, right? We're building this arch, almost like the St. Louis arch. So when we shoot this fight, this whole backdrop will be the White House. And then when the cameras move over and the fight's this way, it's all the Washington Monument. Then there's a park that's sort of connected to the White House. And we'll have 85,000 people. The fighters are gonna walk out of the Oval Office. Yeah. A once in a lifetime opportunity that will never happen again.
And they should probably have like a small section for anybody that had them on their podcast prior.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's all for today's update, fight fans. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more breaking MMA news right here on Octagon HQ.